Alright guys, in this video I am going to be talking about no contact and why no contact is really important when you break up with a narcissist. Um, no access, I did a video about no access, which is the same thing as no contact, but they call it no contact. And that, especially when you're dating, if you break up with a narcissist, you have to go no contact. I never went no contact with mine. I never needed to go no contact with mine. But that doesn't mean that you should still have access. See, they're kind of two different things, all right? No contact and no access. My words are no access, which means they can't, they have no access to you. So that means they have no way to contact you. So no access is more like blocking your email, deleting your email address, changing your phone number, changing your social media account, things like that. That's, to me, is no access, and that's more of what I suggest doing. No contact means no communication, basically. No talking, no communication. But I feel that no access is more important than no contact. But I'm going to talk about the no contact and no access and why it is important. Now, just because I never did it doesn't mean that I'm right that I never did it. Yes, I never needed to do it. I never needed to do no contact or no access because me and my ex are no longer friends. We've never been friends. We've been apart for 10 years, and it's been pretty strong. It's been a pretty strong, no friend type thing between me and my ex. So there was really no need for me to go no contact or no access. He can continue to have my phone number or email, and he'll never reach out to me because he cannot be my friend. But it's not as easy as that, and there's reasons for this, and I'm going to talk about those reasons in this video. So, okay. Any form of communication, including your email, can be used by the narcissist to manipulate and control you, okay? And it kind of continues that toxic cycle, okay? It is. Even though your ex-narcissist is not talking to you, or even male or female, they're not talking to you, that toxic cycle is still continuing, all right? Because whenever you go into your email address or on your phone, you're kind of reminded. Like you see their emails, you see their old emails, right? They probably pop up. And it kind of continues this toxic cycle. Whatever it was going to, it will trigger memories, it will trigger things. That's why having no access is better than just no contact. Because, no contact, you're not contacting them. But if they don't have access, and you don't have access to them, and they don't have access to you, you're deleting everything, clean slate, okay? Then that toxic cycle is not continuing. See, even though the narcissist isn't talking to you or communicating to you, he's still giving you that silent treatment. And by doing that, that's still continuing this toxic cycle, okay? Having your email address or your text messages open to them and your phone number, you remain having the same phone number, what that does is it continues that toxic cycle, because at any moment when that narcissist feels like reaching back out to you, that gives them the opportunity to manipulate you again. It gives them the opportunity to, draw you back in to their web, all right? So it prevents manipulation. It prevents it. It also allows you to heal, okay? Like, all right, for many, many years, me and my ex were not in touch at all. We are not in touch at all. We do not communicate at all. For years and years and years. I still had his phone number. He still had, my email address, but we never I never used it. I just totally forgot about it and just moved on, just like he did. Um, but you have to understand, if you have reached out to your narcissist at all, and if you are with a guy or a woman who gives you the silent treatment, okay, and they're giving you that silent treatment, and you're waiting for their text message to come back or their email, and you're awaiting that, by you having that remaining open to them, that's still giving them that charge, because they're ignoring you, and they know they're ignoring you. They think they're hurting you by ignoring you, which you don't give a shit if they talk to you or not, right? But they feel in their crazy mind that they're hurting you, even though you're not being hurt. That is making them feel good. So you kind of have to, like, what I suggest doing is getting rid of it, because even though you're not talking to them, giving you an example of, okay, let's just say you're in an argument or you're in a fight, all right, and the narcissist is sulking for whatever reason. He's sulking because you may have, whatever, offended him in some weird way, okay? And if he's sulking, giving you the silent treatment, and you guys are both using the same text message, same phone numbers, and you just, every time you go to your phone and you look at your feed on your text message, you're going to see that. And that, they're indirectly still affecting you. They're indirectly still preventing you from moving on to heal. That's why, if you listen to any of the gurus on here, and they talk about breaking up with a narcissist, they all tell you that it's so important to go no contact. It's the most important thing after a breakup with a narcissist, is to go no contact. And with no contact comes, yes, the problem with no contact, it's not the same as no access. I call it no access, because no access is better. Deleting your email, deleting your text message, whatever, changing your phone number, getting rid of your social media, starting up a new one, whatever you need to do. Because when you've dated a narcissist, you have to change everything about your life. It's not like dating a regular guy or a regular girl. With a narcissist, they do these tactics that I've talked about on here. These manipulative tactics that will kind of rope you back in to the craziness, to their web. That's why it's important to go no access. And I call it no access. The narcissist has no ability to influence you, to affect your life, to affect your day. When you go into your text message, you're not going to see their last text message, right? You're not going to see their last email. You're not going to see shit, because it's not going to exist anymore. That's why you have to go no access. It's not just no contact and, okay, I'm not going to talk to them for 90 days and that's it. No, 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 no. No, it has to go deeper than that. It has to go deeper. You have, the presence is gone. That's what's so important about going no access, is the presence is gone. As long as they're still on your text message feed, as long as they're still on your email, as long as you still have their presence on your technology, they're going to affect you. Because every time you open up your email, you're going to see their email, or you're going to see some kind of correspondence between the two of you. And that's going to prevent you from moving on and healing, okay? And it also gives them that ability to come back at any time they want to manipulate you again. And that's what you need to remove. You have to block that from happening, okay? You got to cut that off. You have to cut off any potential contact for the future. And you have to create a very strong barrier, okay, to empower yourself. And this is what I'm talking about, okay? There comes a time at some point with your ex narcissist, or any narcissist that you're dating, that it has to be over. Like, you can't continue to carry it on forever, because they will carry it on forever. All right. They'll come back with some bullshit in a year, like nothing ever happened. Like, they'll come back like nothing really ever happened. And you're just like, wait, last time we talked, there was like this big thing, and they'll never even talk about it. Because the narcissist believes that the more time that passes, you're going to forget about it. You're not going to bring it up. You're like, oh, a year has passed. We forgot about that. And They're not going to take accountability for whatever fucked up thing they did to you the last time, okay? They're not going to talk about whatever they did to you the last time. So this is why you have to completely block them from ever contacting you again in your life, all right? Now, the narcissist, okay, the narcissist knows this. Deep down, they know what they do. They are very aware of their own bullshit, too. But they like to play the stupid game with you, like, like you don't know any better, which you do. You do know better. So that's basically what I'm talking about, okay? No access. No access reduces the risk of ever being triggered again by these creatures, all right? Like I said, seeing their name, receiving messages, it can trigger, it will trigger these negative memories, and it's going to set back your healing. It'll set back a lot of stuff. When I reconnected with mine 6 years ago, 5 years ago, it set back my healing because I was completely healed. I was like completely over it, done. It had been like 4 years since we broke up. And I was like, yeah, I'm over this, completely done. And then I saw him again, and it ruined everything. It set me back. It did, because I had to deal again with the bullshit. The narcissist always brings bullshit to your relationship with them, always. Always. And they love the drama. They enjoy it. Secretly they love it. So you have to reduce that you have to, stop that from happening. So that's what no access does. It reduces the risk of ever being triggered again. It also makes it clear that you're done. All right. When you delete that email, when you change your phone number, when you get rid of that social media account where you're connected on, it gives them a clear message that you're finished, that you're done. You're no longer playing their game. You're done. Okay. And that's really the message that you want to give to your narcissist. Okay. So leaving it open is like saying, yeah, sure, I'll talk to you again. I'm completely fine with that. So deleting the email, deleting the phone number, changing your phone number, sends them a message that you are not interested in any further contact with them. And that is what you need to do. All right. I totally recommend this without a doubt. If you have been through it with your ex-narcissist more than once with the same results happening where you are not able to, clearly communicate or communicate nicely or, be on the same page with each other, and you're frustrated all the time with them and you just can't get through to them. And by continuing to talk to them, by continuing this bullshit, they will come back again because they did it 4, 5, 6, 7 times before, right? They think they can, and they will. They are going to come back, but they're going to do the same thing that they did to you the last 7 times, all right? So you have to send them that message, all right, that you are no longer interested in having any contact with them again in your life. And by changing any communication avenues like cell phone number, email address, social media accounts, that will give them, they'll get the message. They'll get the hint that you're not interested anymore. But this is what you have to do. Because a narcissist will never change. Ever. Not ever. There are books, and I have a book right now that I was reading about, yeah, narcissists can change, but they really have to want to change, and no, I don't believe in that. I don't believe a narcissist will ever change. They are too set in their ways to ever change. Their disorder is too deepened into who they are for so long, for so many years, that they'll never change. They'll only get worse. A narcissist will only get worse as they get older. They will never change for the better. Narcissists will never have empathy. They'll never have sympathy for you and care about you or your feelings. Ever. Ever. All right. So I don't listen to those people who say, oh, they can change. Anything is possible. No, it ain't. Not when it comes to a narcissist, okay? So, this is the way I feel about it. So, yes, no contact is important. No access. I call it no access. Not so much no contact. No access. When you do that, like I changed my phone number a long time ago, like years ago. Like when me and my ex broke up a long time ago, 10 years. Um, I didn't change my phone number immediately after, but I did change it maybe 6 months into the breakup. I changed it. I was getting a lot of hang-ups is what was happening. I was getting a lot of weird phone calls. Like, I don't think it was him. I don't know who it was that was doing it, but I was getting a lot of shit. Like, I was getting like Spanish shit. Like, I was getting like, I don't know Spanish, by the way, even though I am Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. But I was getting like weird phone calls and like weird text messages in Spanish. I was like, something's weird. And I wasn't feeling it. And I was getting a lot of like weird phone calls. So I changed my phone number because it was funky. And he has not had my phone number in almost 10 years. Yeah. I will not give it to him. And there was never no need for me to give him my phone number. We have never been, in the last 10 years since we broke up, we had never been at that level where we ever texted each other or anything like that. There was never no need for him to have my phone number, so I never gave it to him. And I'm grateful that I never did it because, um, you know, it was weird. Like, why would I do that, right? Like, and the thing was weird was I didn't start getting like weird phone calls till after me and him broke up. Like, I never got weird phone calls, until after we broke up. And I started getting like weird phone calls and like weird text messages in different languages. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? This is weird. Like, it was in Spanish, obviously, but I was like, this is really weird. And I also got that shit on my Facebook page. So it might have been coming from a source possible from my ex-boyfriend. I don't know. My ex-narcissist, I call him. But as I said before, after I started getting the phone calls that were weird, I changed my phone number. And that was probably about 6 months, 7, 8 months, 6 months into the breakup. I changed my phone number, and that was it. I was like, nah, this ain't gonna, no, I don't, this ain't gonna happen for me. I wasn't feeling that. And he has not had my number since. Email, yeah, he has had my email address. But I felt like my email was a lot less serious, like a lot less, more distant, not so personal. Like your phone number is more personal, your text is more personal. Email, you can open that whenever you want. Email is a little more, I don't know, not as personal, not as close. Whenever I would talk to my ex, it was always through email after we broke up. And it was never like that much. It was only a few times. But anyway, getting back to myself, I totally, as I said before, I've never been no contact or no access with mine. But after the last incident with my ex, I have dabbled with going no contact, dabbled with going like no, not no contact, no access. And that would be changing and getting rid of my email address completely. And I've thought about that. And it's definitely something that I'm most likely going to do in the near future. I just haven't done it yet. I wasn't really ready to do it. Once I do it, it's going to be forever. But I probably will do it soon. Because as I said, it can happen at any time. Like these guys, like you got to understand. And it's really, really, really hard, guys. Like, trust me, I have been through it with with the narcissist thing about the games that they play with you, the mental anguish that you go through with them, the games, the mind games, the BS, the lack of being transparent with you. Like everything's a secret. They can't talk to you. Like I've been through all that BS. And when you get to be in your 50s, it gets old. Like once you're 50 something years old, you're done playing games. Like I'm done playing games. I'm done with the mind games. Like I don't need that in my life at all. The narcissist will never stop though. That's the thing. They'll always play mind games with you. They can't stop. And it's sad. It's sad. And when it comes to me and my ex, like he made his choice. Like he chose to do, not to be friends with me. So that's on him. That's not my fault. Like why should I leave myself open to him for whenever he feels like it, to just like walk back in to talk to me whenever he feels like it? Like it doesn't work like that. Relationships are a two-way street, not a one-way street. So that ain't gonna happen. But anyway, guys, I hope that you take my advice, and if you're dealing with a narcissist, that you just can't get on the right page with them, consider for yourself, for your own emotional healing, to go no access. No access, no contact. All right, so anyway, that's it. That's it for this video.